What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we gonna talk about Victor Oladipo possibly getting traded, and I'm gonna tell you the top 5 places I think that can possibly trade him and give him playing time, give him an opportunity, and possibly get him back on the path of being an All-Star and an All NBA player. Now, some teams might be missing a piece. Some teams can use a piece, and some people can use Victor when he was at his best. And this is not the team from best to worst. This is just 5 teams in general that I feel like can make a trade for him and should. Number 5, the Charlotte Hornets. Now, this is interesting because you would think, why would the Charlotte Hornets trade for him? You get a guy that can handle the ball, create, finish, put a lot of pressure on the defense, make him make tough decisions because he's so athletic and so, penetratable. It makes everybody on your team a lot better when they're getting layups, dunks, and also spot up threes. And they need a guy that can take over a game. They need a guy at that two guard position that has size and can defend. And Terry Rozier isn't that guy, and neither is Graham. They can play, they're good, but they're not Victor Oladipo, especially when he's playing his best basketball. And then you consider that he finally got some chances in the bubble to get back athletically, get some more playing time, and heal a little bit. Plus, he knows where he's at. And then you don't even know the start of the next season, so he gets a chance to put in more work, get more healthier, and get more prepared. Plus, he's under a contract here, so he's going to want to prove himself and to the team. And they have the financial capabilities once they trade the pieces to get him, to give him the money. They have the opportunity for him to play his best ball, and they need a star. If they can't get the star in the draft, they're going to eventually have to trade for one. And Oladipo is young enough, and he's shown potential to be one of the top 25 players in the league. And that's something that Charlotte has trouble getting, and it's something that they don't have now. Number 4, Toronto Raptors. And I know people love Kyle Lowry and Van Fleet, but they have shown that they have struggled trying to get a guy that can, one, defend perimeter players, and two, can literally take over a game. And that's why they struggled against Boston. Van Fleet can play, Lowry can play, but they struggle to consistently, score individual and set people up. Now Lowry has improved in that regard, but he's only getting older. Van Fleet is just too small and too little to play the two, and we've seen that throughout the whole Celtics series. That they need a guy that can take over a game and create for others. And Oladipo has the size, the athleticism, and the speed and quickness to cause a lot of havoc and chaos defensively, and that opens up for the guys like OG and Kyle Lowry and Van Fleet if he's at the point guard position to get spot up threes. But it also helps Ibaka get the mid range, and it also helps Marcus all if they choose to bring him back. And it also helps Siakam get the mid range and lobs and dunks. And it allowed him to play in pick and roll because he can hit the mid range too, but he also can blow by his defenders and hit the three off the screen if you go under. So they had to put a lot of help and pressure on the defense, and it will open up the offense for a lot of players on this team. And I think that he'd be a great fit. Now, this is a popular one. The Dallas Mavericks. They've shown that they just as good as any team in the West when they're healthy. They had took the Los Angeles Clippers through every single game, and the Clippers struggled to beat them, and Porzingis wasn't even healthy for the entire series. Now, if Oladipo comes there, you get another ball handler, another guy that can penetrate, another guy that can find shooters, but another guy that can help Doncic get easier opportunities, allow Doncic also to get his ability to attack off the dribble when he's not literally on ball. He can do it off the ball, whether it's cutting or hitting spot up threes, but also he can get out in transition and get out with Oladipo and get easy buckets, making them more efficient, making them get easier shots, so he don't have to work for everything. And it's another thing that can help him get shots off the dribble, because once you close out, he can put the ball on the floor and get right to the basket, and that allows him to create shots for himself and others too. And that's a good thing for the Dallas Mavericks because they struggled when Doncic was off the court sometimes, and they also never had a guy that can get their own shot consistently enough. And Oladipo can bring both of those things to this team, and they don't really have to give up much because they have some decent pieces, but they're trying to get off his contract because the Pacers honestly don't want to pay the money, and Mark Cuban has never really had too big of a problem paying people the money that they want. And with Doncic being under his rookie contract for a couple more years, they'll be able to absorb it and pay him, and then they have a big three. And like I said, Oladipo is a good defender when healthy, and that's something that they needed to on the perimeter, and that helps Doncic not have to defend all the great perimeter players or be forced to switch to guard them. And it also helps Porzingis, so the more you can stay in front or help people funnel to Porzingis, the better your defense potentially can be too, because Porzingis can then contest or just honestly protect the paint, whether it's blocking it or keeping them out of it. And that's something that helps him, and that's something that he ain't gonna complain about either if he has. The New York Knicks, they're looking for a star, and Oladipo has shown that he is one of those. And going to New York will give him the spotlight. It'll give him the opportunity that he had, just like Indiana when he got there. Of course, he's going to deal with a lot of losing just because they don't have the talent to compete right now. But he can help bring them back to at least being a competitive team, and he can bring some excitement to New York, and that's what people want. They want to see somebody that's flashy. They want to see somebody that wants to be there, and they want to see somebody that can play. And Oladipo checks those boxes. And Oladipo has shown throughout his career when he's healthy, he can be clutch. He can take over games. He can dunk. He can sing. He likes being in front of the camera. And, it can even open up his ability to be a big star even in music, just because people are going to pay more attention to him. People are going to be reading about him because he's in one of the biggest, if not the biggest market in the game. So I see why he will want to go to New York, and I see why he can be there. But the only thing about it is, once they trade for him, they're going to be expecting eventually to be a championship team. And will Oladipo be able to do that? I don't know, because he wasn't able to do it with the Pacers, and this team even got even better since he's been there. He's already trying to leave, and they actually is one of the best teams in the NBA when healthy, because they didn't have Sabonis in the playoffs. So we'll see if he wants to stay there. We'll see if he wants to grind, and we'll see if he can win. But other than that, the last team is the Brooklyn Nets. I know people say, well, he's not that much better than Karis LeVert, and Karis LeVert already do have a good contract that he's on, and you'll have to trade for Victor plus sign him to a massive contract that he wants. And will he be that third option that the Brooklyn Nets need to make him a championship contender? That, is he a significant upgrade over Karis LeVert? That's questionable, especially when you factor in the contract and you factor in that Karis is young and he's shown that he can become a facilitator, and he's shown that he can take over games. Plus, he didn't have KD and Kyrie. That makes his job easier. But it also makes it seem like Oladipo is the better defender. He is the better playmaker. He is the better scorer. And, he wanted to play with KD before, and KD wanted him in OKC because he had respect for him as a player. Plus, you do have Kyrie too, who can create his own shot and knock down threes off the dribble or spot up. Same with KD, and he does give them that perimeter defender that they don't have. So, only problem is you're going to have to break the bank for Oladipo next year, free agency. And if he's not going to fit and he's not going to be that player, you lose out on keeping Karis LeVert that can possibly be that player, but also may not. So it's a pick 'em. Do you want to develop, or do you want the guy that has shown that he's a sure thing in that spotlight? But at the end of the day, will that make them into legitimate title contenders? Maybe, because we don't know how Oladipo is going to play with them. We don't know if he really fits with them. Plus, he didn't look great as, coming back from the injury, and you're banking on him coming back to the old Oladipo that was an all NBA and all defensive team player and all star. But is Oladipo still going to be that? That's a question that all these teams have to look at. Is he going to be worth the money? Can he get back for where he fell from? And if he does, do we really want to pay him the money if he can't get us over the hump, or if he can't get us back to being a championship contender? That's a question that all five of these teams face, and all five of these teams going to have to take that gamble if they want them. Honestly, to me, he should stay with the Pacers just because they probably the better team out of all these when fully healthy. But also, some of these teams can possibly take that next leap if he can get back to where he fell from. So I don't know what he's going to be. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he really, really wants to be traded. And if he does, three of these teams, Dallas and Brooklyn and Toronto, are one piece away from being a contender and legitimately being a championship team if he is healthy, if he can play, and if he can get back to Oladipo. If not, I don't know if these teams are going to be willing to break the bank the way that he wants to be paid if he can't be that guy. Because remember, he still does have to play this next whole season out. And depending on how he plays, depending on how he fits, that's how he's going to be paid. So he might want a big payday. He might want to be a superstar. He might want the spotlight and the attention, but he still has to do it on the court. And that's going to warrant how much money he's going to be worth and how much money a team is going to be willing to pay him. Plus, it depends on the success of the team and if he can stay healthy. Those things will factor in to his longevity with any of these teams because he will be a free agent. So he can leave if he ain't healthy, and the team has to know that he wants to stay if they're going to give up a couple assets to get him. And that's going to be another thing that might hinder him getting traded. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, check out my older videos. I have over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos on my channel. So if you like this video and you like my older videos, subscribe. I also do free agency, trade deadline, playoff predictions, top 10 lists, NBA draft coverage, NBA breakdowns with actual footage of legends, players, rookies, and summer league content. I also do cover summer league. I made top 10 lists just like you see in this, season previews also. So I also make videos every single day. So if you like basketball, you can't get enough of, you need that daily fix, this is the channel for you. I promise you. And also sharing a video allows me to reach more people. The more people that reach, the more this channel can continue to grow, as I do not get paid to do these videos on YouTube. And on top of that, if you want to buy merchandise and support the brand, I have my spread shirt in the description in the comment section below, but you can also check out my Facebook page. I have hats, I have shirts. You can change the color or logo. You can pick the logo that you want. You can change the color of the hat because I have multiple colors, and I can get it shipped out to you depending on what hat and what shirts and accessories and things you want. But like I said, you can also buy it on Spreadshirt. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm